right, so I want to do a Black Panther movie review and why I believe that it's getting so much attention, why it's getting so much racist protests, and why now it all makes sense as to why you got, people in the South protesting the movie, mostly Europeans protesting the movie because it's mostly all black cast, I think that's really, let's just call it a spade. That's really the only real reason that they're protesting the movie is because it actually is in all, I would say 85% of the cast is black, or what is black, and so that's a shift in the matrix as far as seeing us on screen in that type of position or environment. And what I mean by that is, even for me, I'm 35 years old, and in my whole life I have never seen a TV show or a movie with that many black people in a role of power like that. You know what I mean? Usually if you see that many black people on film, it's usually a slave movie or something like that, or some gang-banging type movie when it comes to us. You know what I mean? So what that movie did was it's powerful. It shows us in royal form. Even though they had an African spin on it, and even though we're not African, but most people, you know what I mean. They got a little bit of the African kingdom spin on it, but all in all, it's a good superhero movie for one. It shows us in a light other than gangsters and slaves, with that many African American people on film. And check this out. Even the villain. Now this is what made me think of Israel, or the scriptures, right? Even the villain, he wasn't a villain like most villains in the movie where they want to destroy the world and the planet. I'm not going to give away the movie too much, but even the villain, the only reason why he was the villain is because they had this advanced technology that they didn't want it to get out to the whole world, because we know how to, usually with advanced technology, what happens, governments want to make weapons out of them and everything like that. So even the villain, the reason why he was the villain was because he wanted to take the technology to help his people, our people, that are being oppressed by these nations and governments. And that's what made him a villain. So even the villain had a righteous motive. Ain't that something? That is something right there. Even the villain, his intent was to save his people out of oppression, because they don't know that we have a group of people out here that can bring them out of this oppression. Which made me think of the scriptures. Sort of like the Israelites waking up their people, bringing them back to the light of the Father. You know what I mean? And the people in darkness don't even have a clue that there's people out here trying to wake them up and bring them out of that darkness. This is why this guy was the villain, which actually makes sense, because it's kind of like those who follow Christ will be hated, right? So that was the only reason this guy was a villain, man. The main guy that played Black Panther, his goal was to help, our people, but he didn't want to do it in that way of bringing the technologies out and sharing it with the whole world to get our people out of there. The villain was the villain because he wanted to give us the weapons to fight and get out of the oppression for freedom. Man, that's powerful, man. But all in all, man, it's a good movie. I'm not going to get too much of the movie. I would say go check it out. And I think what peed so many people off, or I would just say the racist protesters, was because this was the first time seeing black people in a position of power, in a position of royalty, with no coonery and no nonsense, no They didn't even have one buffoon on there. We didn't have not one, you know, nigga on there. Everybody was in royal posture, royal stance, fighting for something good. Even the villain, his intent was for righteousness, man. That's crazy. And that just peed a lot of people off. They don't want to see that. But, you know, my question is what was the problem with that? All my life, I've always seen all white people in movies, and you put one black dot on there and say, okay, we're not racist because we put the one black guy on there. All your scary movies, the black guy, he died first. You know what I mean? All these movies, look, like I said, I brought it up in another video, but think about your news channel. When you watch the news, you got 4 or 5 white people and that one black dot, just to say we're equal. Man, this movie reversed that. It was all black people and one white dot. Oh man, it was beautiful to see that. And it's empowering to see our people in their original form. That's our original form, royal status. You know, the form that they put, the images of us that they put in movies and on TV, that is the matrix. This is how they trained us to be this way. They systematically geared us to be like that. You know what I mean? But our original form before the terrorists came and took us out of our form, that's how we were. I say go check it out. It's a good movie. I guess it's really not a movie review because I'm not telling you too much about the movie. But I would say check it out, especially if you're a so-called minority. Shalom.